Hello. It's November 11th. So November 11th, 2017. And here we are, chat session number 11. We go right into our little history for the day. 1918. World War I ends. At the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, the Great War ends. At 5 a.m. that morning, Germany, bereft of manpower and supplies and faced with imminent invasion, signed an armistice agreement with the Allies in a railroad car outside of Compiègne, France. I'm not sure how to say that city. Compiègne is how I'm going to say it. If I'm wrong, sorry. I need to study the French pronunciations maybe. The First World War left 9 million soldiers dead and 21 million wounded, with Germany, Russia, Austria-Hungary, France, and Great Britain each losing nearly 1 million or more lives. In addition, at least 5 million civilians died from disease, starvation, or exposure. We hope we don't have to ever have that kind of repeat again in history. Unfortunately, went right out, came out of one war and went right into another one, but maybe we can learn from our history and realize that there's got to be a better solution sometimes than this war stuff that they keep saying is necessary in order to keep us free and all that stuff. I do believe it could be necessary against some maniacs out there that could be intent on doing harm, but overall I think there's generally a diplomatic or even a human solution to the problem. But we'll see how things go as we move forward in history and look back on it. We're going to go right into the next little oh, by the way, happy Veterans Day with that little trivia about the World War I and stuff. Happy Veterans Day out there to the people that I know that have been in the military. My dad was in the military. People can say what they want, but it's appreciated by me. I'm able to sit here and make this video because of the service that has allowed this particular kind of freedom to continue in our country. So salute to all of you guys. 1933, next little tidbit in history. A powerful wind strips the topsoil from desiccated farmlands of South Dakota. One of a series of disastrous windstorms that year. The drought-ridden land of the Southern Plains became known as the Dust Bowl. It was useless to farmers and only exacerbated the economic problems of the Great Depression. Within 2 days, dust from the South Dakota storm had reached all the way to Albany, New York. Wow. You see things like that happen in Australia. They have these big dust storms that travel across the land. Well, wow, 1983, we had it here in our own United States. Weather phenomenon like that been going on forever, I guess. Now we're just able to maybe get better recordings, documented information about it, but this kind of stuff's been going on forever, and it's interesting to look back on it. Sometimes we go in such a hurry to get through the day, we forget about some things that happened in the past on the day that we're in. It's interesting for me, maybe for you too. I'm recommending Dream Theater once again. That's what's playing now. A band that has a lot of emotion with great musicians behind it all. I highly recommend, if you don't know anything about Dream Theater, to investigate. They have pretty much a wide range of music possibilities on their records. Mixing with symphonic orchestras, that kind of thing, the symphonies, doing a couple of live shows with them, that kind of stuff. So yeah, their music's integrated in that classical vein, but at the same time it's more of a rock and roll kind of style output. I like it. I think that they're creative, and I think that they're talented, and it's enjoyable to listen to. Sort of takes you out of things. So I recommend Dream Theater. Alright, now, well, speaking of that, make a pre-announcement to the announcement. But I've been thinking about this idea for a while. and I've decided that I'm going to try to get some people together that I know have great talent in the area of their instruments, and make the announcement now that the people I'm speaking of is Neil Woodall on guitar, Austin Gartman on drums, and Scott Malone on bass guitar. That's my brother Scott. And Jeremy Woodall, guitar, and of course his recording expertise. Vocal to be announced, could be me, maybe. We'll see how that goes, but it's just a little idea I had on my mind this morning, so I thought I would go ahead and share it out there, that I think that the talent of these individuals could create some really great music together, I think, if they just sat down and hashed it out a little bit. We'll see. That's just something I wanted to pass on. I've been given my next step in my little journey with some things going on. I go to a specialist on Thursday, and we'll go from there as each visit gives me more information on what I'm facing or not facing. It's all good. I'm mentally ready for it, whatever the diagnosis may be. So, you know, I understand concerns and different things, but I'm good concerning how I'm handling this, and I'm not jumping the gun. I'm going to let the diagnosis speak for itself whenever it's given on what's going on, and if the treatment requires whatever it may be. As much as of course, I don't think anybody looks forward to it, but I will do whatever needs to be done, I guess, to you know, preserve the good fight. And other things, football. It's week 10. And I made a video for week 10, but I started off saying week 9. That's sort of a lapse of awareness on my part, but I have a lot on my mind, so I'll just leave it at that. It was a mistake. It should have been said week 10 instead of week 9, but I went through the whole video and I actually put it out there, so the predictions stand, even though it started off with saying the wrong week. It was about week 9. I mean, sorry, week 10, so here we go again. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Saturday. A lot of football news. Again, Richard Sherman from Seahawks. Godspeed and get better. And looking forward to you picking up the mantle where you dropped it. I know you will. 12th man, all for you. Going on to other stuff. Again, with football, I think that there's a lot of possibilities. If I didn't read my Week 10 picks, here they are real quick. I'm just going to read the winners. I'm not going to read who they're playing unless I can recall here, and I'll try to go, look at it as I'm going down. Here we go. Thursday night, Seahawks and the Cardinals played. I picked the Seahawks. They won. My picks are Jets over the Buccaneers, Bills over the Saints, and that's a rough call there. 6-game winning streak by the Saints, but the Bills are playing at home. They've got an outstanding secondary. I look for a lot of takeaways. Unfortunately, I know Drew Brees doesn't give up the ball that much, but I look for a couple of interceptions in that game from the Bills defense. Browns over the Lions. I'd say that the Browns get their first win on that one. Nothing against Stratford or anything like that. Stafford, anything like that, but I think the Browns get their first win. Titans and Bengals, I pick the Titans. Packers and Bears, everyone's saying Packers. I'm saying Bears. Their defense is a hidden secret out there in the NFL. It's strong, has its moments, and they're getting better. Chargers and Jaguars. Chargers have good offense, but I think that the defense of the Jaguars are going to shut that down. I look for takeaways and all kinds of problems for that Chargers offense. Vikings and Redskins. I picked the Vikings. Hidden team in the NFL as far as that are just dominating. Backup quarterback, the whole 9 yards. Receivers in and out with injuries. The Vikings are 6-2, and they're not no slouch team, so I picked the Vikings over the Redskins. Steelers and the Colts. Even though the Colts could have good connection going with T.Y. Hilton and Brissett, I picked the Steelers just because it's Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown versus that. You can't go wrong with that combination. Then you have Le'Veon Bell on the ground, so yeah, I picked the Steelers. Texans and the Rams. Hard for me to do this, but I have to pick the Rams if I'm going to get my picks right. Texans just riddled with issues since their star quarterback went out, but things happen, and he'll be back, and they'll have another opportunity maybe, but I just don't see him beating the Rams. Giants 49ers. Hey, 49ers, good luck to you. I'm picking you on the win this week against the Giants. Giants 1-7. What are the 49ers? 0-9. So I picked the 49ers on that one to possibly get their first win. Not possibly, but yeah, I'm picking them, so I'm saying they're going to get their first win. Cowboys and Falcons. Cowboys. Patriots and Broncos. Patriots. Dolphins and Panthers. I'm going with the Dolphins. All right, I had to speed through those last ones. Time's running out on this. It's 11:28. Don't want to bore anybody. Going to move on with our close that I would like to continue to do as I make these videos. Be truthful. Be happy. Look out for each other, okay? Till next time, Saturday, have a great day. I did have my coffee. Enjoyed it. Happy Veterans Day to all those people out there that have served in our country. Till next time, adios.